in real life and in living color. And this time it's appropriate for me to say that because this episode of NXT, and as you can see, it's on the CW network, and we got a new logo. The logo is now silver. We have entered. We have went from the gold and black and white to now just the black and silver, or as people have been calling it, the silver age of NXT. Um, we also did get a new intro with NXT. Oh, we got one with us. I thought I was gonna be by myself. Punch, what's up, man?
What's up? Yep, you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. And then, man, condolences, man. Condolences.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Um,
Oh, so we talking NXT?
we talking NXT, the
Yes,
season premiere
sir.
on the CW, and oh, thanks to Shane, they listened to Shane. They got rid of Death Rebel because the first thing to talk about is that they got a new intro and a new look, as you can see, silver and black. And the new intro is sung by Two Chainz and Lil Wayne, and which is what I did a million from now, a million now, something like
A
that.
million for now.
A million from now, yeah. So they got a new intro, which I like to point out. That means Two Chainz and Lil Wayne joins Nicki Minaj and Lil Kim as some of the mainstream rappers who gets paid by WWE who do theme songs for people. Um, I think what Lil Kim still get royalties. Was it Lil Kim or Nicki Minaj? I think it's Nicki Minaj who gets
For
the royalties
Stephanie?
from. Huh?
For Stephanie's intro?
Yeah, I think Lil Kim did Stephanie's, and then
That was Lil Kim.
Nicki. Yeah, and Lil Kim. I mean, Nicki did Victoria's,
Yeah.
so they get royalties and stuff from that. So that's the first thing to point out. I don't really like the new NXT title designs. I think it's too much silver. It look, you know what? It reminds me of the UFC title belts. Like they trying to make it look more like UFC. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but they both look like the new NXT women's and men's championship belts look like uh UFC belts.
I don't really like the new. I bangs with it. I to, to me, y'all gotta understand and realize now. Shawn Michaels is like, yo, this is my NXT. These are
Mm-hmm.
how my titles is gonna look. And these are how, and this is how I'm gonna present my show from now on. Uh, some people complained about it, but I like the belts. I like the women's belt a little bit more though, because I like the white strap.
Mm.
But
NXT was amazing on the CW show, especially I like the new theme song NXT Men's on the Championship belt by Shawn Michaels Triple H. Yeah, yeah, they definitely was DXing it up on NXT, especially if you go to their YouTube channel. They got a fun little video with CM Punk, and I think he paid homage. He was paying homage to Shawn Michaels and one of his infamous referee attires. But before we jump into the review, we I want to point out that we do have an injury update, and it's not a surprise because we seen him limping, but apparently Braun Strowman do have an injury from that match, and I said it leading into this match. One of them is going to get injured because they're going to go all out, and one of them are going to get injured. It ended up being Braun Strowman. Him and Raquel just have the worst luck when it comes to being like healthy and being able to be on the roster.
yeah,
But according to the reports, he suffered from a torn groin, so that's why he
yeah,
was midway through the match, he was like kind of limping and not able to really move as he usually do because he had a torn groin. But that man finished that match with a torn groin. So if anybody knows what that's like, that's Triple H. Triple H knows what that's like. As we all know,
No, I
remember
want
Triple
to.
H.
My
Go ahead.
fault. Go ahead.
I was
No,
about to
I
say
wanted to
everybody
point out
remembers.
too. No, go ahead. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
I was about to say everybody remembers Triple H's infamous, what was that, shorts, or almost like he had like pants short, like shorts on, trunks that was combined with shorts because of his torn groin. So we remember that
Yeah.
outfit. So definitely Triple H know that. Yeah, most definitely. Keep Braun Strowman in the prayers. Hope for speedy recovery. So I think that Ilya right now, Ilya and Braun Strowman on the shelf. So all right.
Yeah.
What would you gonna say though, Shane?
Shout out to Shawn Michaels with the intro, man, because he gets straight to the point with presenting the belts, man. Unlike the main roster, he gets straight to the point. Promos was short, and he was like, "Yo, look, we got new titles." He just lifted them up, like, here y'all go. Short, sweet, and simple. Thank God.
That's what I was about to get to. Cause that's what we kicked off this new NXT with. We kicked off with Shawn Michaels after he made his intro. He welcomed everybody to the new NXT, and he said with the new look and the new home, which means we have a new titles. And as Shane alluded to, he just ripped those bad boys right off and unveiled the new titles. Um, as you might have saw, the women's is just basically like the men's, but except one is a white strap and one is a black strap. He said after that, all he got is one. He need to know is one thing: are you ready? And then, but it wasn't Shawn Michaels who said, "Are you ready?" Triple H coming out of the crowd, coming into the ring, and they do that DX. Are you ready? And they kicked off NXT and got straight to it. Um, but as Shane, you was already talked about, so go ahead and tell me what you was thinking about that promo before we get into that first match.
I mean, it brought back to the childhood. You know, yes,
Mm-hmm.
always. Sean getting straight to the point. That's the one thing I can say about Sean and his NXT is Sean gonna get straight to the point. It's not gonna be one of them long segments. Nah, let's get this show started. Let's get straight to the point. And for the belts, I mean, I seen some people complaining, but I like the belts. It matched the color. And y'all gotta realize now, this is Shawn Michaels' era. This is his NXT. The belts do look like the USC belts, which I'm fine with. Um, as long as they ain't got that big W on there, thank God for that one. So yeah, I mean, I'm cool with it, man. It shows that Shawn Michaels is really taking NXT to another level. And he's doing it his way. And I can respect that. I
Yeah.
really can. Ever since Shawn Michaels really took over, NXT been cooking.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Especially with the women's division,
Uh,
which we're about to
speaking
get
of which,
into right now.
speaking of which, because I forgot to write it down, but I still remembered it. We did at some point in the show we got a vignette for from what I'm hearing from the internet that was Delta is making her way to
Yes,
NXT, and
yes.
I'm like, holy! From what everybody's saying, it just added another. Somebody just added another star power to the
Y'all
already stacked
understand.
women's division on the
Y'all
NXT.
understand what y'all about to. Y'all understand what y'all about to get between Julia, Stephanie Vampire, and Delta. Do y'all not understand what that women's division is about to be put on notice for real, for real.
Yes, it is. Speaking of which, now that I got that out the way, I just have to say that, guys, because I did not have that written down. So, but Julia, they kicked it off with the first match, which is Julia versus Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's NXT Championship. So, and I'm like, yeah, well, we get straight to it. We got straight to it. They ain't saving for the final match or nothing. They just say, we're gonna smack y'all right in the mouth with a good match. And this match was indeed good. Julia and Roxanne paired well together. I like that little chess match they had where they were just going back and forth. Nobody could get the upper hand over the other. It was a good match. I was very entertained by Chef's Kiss. Julia, I got a sense of Julia, and she does have that strong style like Shinsuke Nakamura. She do fight with that strong style because she was pulling off some moves that I haven't really seen some women on the main roster pull off. Because they look like they actually hurt. Um, the match came down to the fact that Roxanne Perez she hit Pop Rocks, but Julia rolled out the ring. She would try to get Julia back in the ring, but Julia would hit was that Death Valley Driver or what did she hit on the outside of the ring? I can't remember what that was. But Julia did hit a move on the outside of the ring on Roxanne Perez. And then Julia got themselves back into the ring, but Roxanne rolled back out. They beat the 10 count, but she would roll back out. She would go get the belt and try to use it, but that distraction allowed a mystery woman to come and hit Julia, look like with a double hook DDT, and then she was thrown back into the ring, to which she got pop rocks again by Roxanne Perez. 1, 2, 3. Roxanne Perez is your winner, and the mystery woman stayed up on the ramp, and Roxanne looked to see who it was because she was wondering who was that who just helped her, and it's revealed to be none other than a returning Cora Jade. I'm like, whoa, why would Cora help Roxanne? But then, this is me not being watching NXT enough. Apparently, they used to be friends and stuff, and now they wasn't. But now, kind of, sort of getting back to being friends again, since especially she helped her, and she said, and we even would. Well, I'll get to that later. That's in the later backstage segment. But yeah, that is your match. And that match, I'm like, okay, Cora Jade is back. So I'm guessing Julia's gonna feud with Cora Jade. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, we know what Stephanie Van Pierce, she got Roxanne Perez next. Because that's what she said. Whoever will win that match, she won it next. So I'm guessing Julia and Cora wise is gonna be Roxanne and Stephanie. But Shane, you tell me what you thought about that match.
I thought the match was great. It was a great opener. Um, for anybody that's doubting Roxanne or anything like that, y'all need to put that in. Y'all need to put that in a bottle and throw it because she's one of the best right now, hands down in NXT. I said it first. Um, the match was great. Julia looked good as she should. I didn't expect her to win. I didn't expect Corey Jade to come back neither. That was cool. That was a nice little touch. Um, I mean, yeah, if we're gonna get Julia versus Jade, I'm with that. And we're gonna get Stephanie Flair versus Roxanne, I'm with that too. Yo, Sean with the women's division down there is stacked to the ceiling. It's that, but overall, it was definitely a great match. Um, Roxanne getting the win as she should. I I didn't really see Julia getting the belt no time soon anyway. It should have been at that moment because I think Roxanne is more than ready to get called up to the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
However, uh, Roxanne still being the champion, I mean, it was a good decision.
All right. All right. I also just realized in this moment that 2 out of the 3 shows are already on their new home and got their new intros and stuff. So Raw is just the last one. I was just like, Raw is the last one to get his new intro and look and whatever how they gonna do it. But we didn't get a backstage promo with Nathan Fraser and Axiom. They just basically preparing themselves for their tag team match against I guess it's gonna be Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I'm like, I really don't be watching that ticket. I didn't even realize they went down there and started a feud with them. But apparently they're
Yeah,
gonna be defending their titles against them next. And Axiom wanted Nathan Fraser to basically get his head in the game because he kind of got a temper and blow his cap. And they proved it by basically having that little back and forth. He got angry and got mad, and then in the video game of 2K24, Austin Theory and Gretchen Water beat them and became the new champions. And he was like, you know what? You got a point. And he basically calmed himself. Then we will switch over to CM Punk, who will meet with Ava in the office, just to get to tell her, like, look, what's up, Xavier? What's up, man? Thanks for joining. We would get
yeah, my guy.
CM Punk basically with Ava talking about how he's going to call everything down the middle. He's already spoke to everybody, and she would tell him how of the importance of that. She really needs him to be. I know he got a lot of his play, but I really need you to call this down the middle and get this thing right because it was. I don't think she likes Ethan Page too much. But they would get interrupted by Lexis King, who wanted to get some advice for CM Punk, to which I don't really think he gave him advice. He just basically told him, like, oh yeah, because I guess he had an opportunity to win a match and he didn't want to do it like dirty. So, but since he didn't do it dirty, while he didn't cheat or bend the rules to get the victory, it cost him the match. And CM Punk just basically said, "See, like you gotta two wolves you got to deal with. One where you want to win at all costs, and the other where you want to fight the genes that you was born with." And I'm like,
Yeah,
and he just said, he like, thanks, man, thanks for the advice. I'm like, was that really advice? I'm like, he really didn't tell you what to do. He
yeah,
just
exactly.
he,
Yo,
he
but real
go,
quick, shout out to Alexis King Barber, yo.
oh yeah, his barber was getting him crisp.
Fly. Yo, shout out to the barber, bro. That cut was fly. I ain't even gonna lie. Look like 10 mil.
But anywho, then we would get to the second match of the night, which is Wesley versus Zachary Waltz in a street fight match. And I think Zachary is a TNA superstar, right?
Yep.
Okay, I thought that's what it was. But he was actually wasn't he the guy that was with Wesley, but then he fired him, and then he ended up being in
Yep.
TNA.
And then seeing that.
Oh, I'm like, well, he must not really did what he did to get fired if he was quickly picked up by TNA. And he's willing to work with him again, so he must be cool. I thought when they brought him back, I was like, well, you must not really think he did what he did then. Like, you must think like, well, man, we might have fired him for nothing. But that's just
Exactly.
not my topic for another day. The match itself was fire. These guys almost killed themselves like a dozen times in this match. And I do like for Wesley's part the fact, just like Randy Orton, because basically Wesley and Randy Orton both had back injuries they had to get surgery on. That was like a factor in this match. Every time he took a bump or a hit from a chair or a candlestick, he really sold that. Like, he's still like, that's a weak spot for him, and he was selling it. And that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. But other than that, this match was just like the Braun Strowman match. These guys was killing themselves. I mean, the coast to coast with the trash campaign, almost a shame it, man. I mean, the putting through. I want to say, do you know what the ugliest spot was? I was about to say they put themselves through some plaster drive table look like stuff on some chairs, but when Wes like pushed Zachary off the ropes and he was supposed to go through that table, but he like it looked like he overshot it and he cracked that end of it. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, I know he legit injured. He cracked the hell out of that table. He kind of broke the table, but he didn't break the table like they usually do because he missed it completely.
Yeah.
I think like his shoulder, the head area
His
hit
head hit the back of it,
yeah, he hit
like
the
towards the
back of
end.
it. Oh, that was a nasty spill. But other than that, they went at it. It was hardcore, and Wesley would get the victory when Zachary held back, telling him he didn't want to do this. He had the chain. He could have used the chain and beat up Wesley, but he hesitated, which allowed Wesley to get the low blow, and Wesley would use the chains to his advantage, which he would use to hit a move off the top rope with, and he got the 1, 2, 3. And I'm guessing from the way how they promoted it, this was the end of their little rivalry. But Wesley, I was like, hey, this dude they said this dude went to Dayton, Ohio, and caught his brother off guard and just beat him with the door. They like showing him
Beat up
beat up
his
with the door.
brother.
I'm like, this dude Wesley is about to be something, man. But those are my thoughts. The match was A1. I liked it. And like I said, so far, like up until this point, I'm entertained. And actually, I will still be entertained after this point, but it was still good. Like I said, it was still good. But Shane, what did you think about this street fight match?
That match was fire. the the missed spot with when he pushed him off the ropes. That looked like it hurt.
Oh,
The
it
whole
sounded like he hit the ground hard. And he smacked the table hard.
the the coast to coast. That was shout out to Shane McMahon for that. That was a cool match. Um, overall, man, the match was fire. I like Wes as a heel. Can we please not do that promo that he did last week? I think
Yeah.
Wes can be one of those. I think Wes can be one of those nerdy heels. One of those speak intelligently, but yeah, he could be one of them nerdy heels. He's real dangerous, but he's real intelligent and smart, and he could be a real dick. We need that. I don't need him to say foul language. No, that's no. We don't need that. However, though, the match was cool. West winning with the low blow and the chain wrapped around with the finish. That was cool. That's how a heel was supposed to win, my opinion.
Mhm.
Um, his man, they always had a good chemistry together, so it worked out well. Um, overall, man, dope match. I wish it was on the PLE, but oh man, it was that good. It was that good of a street fight that I wish it was on the PLE. But overall, it was definitely a dope match.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I also forgot to point this out at the beginning too. This was not TV 14 as the rumor suggested was, even though the CW did list it at TV 14. It was shown that it was still TV PG. So it's still so at this point, Raw still might be it still would probably be the first to go TV 14 once it moved to Netflix.
Yeah, I don't think NXT needs to go to TV 14. I mean, unless your best talkers, which is not West, by the way. Unless your best talkers is like really in the feud, like I'm just using them two as example. Like Ethan Page, he's more he's a better heel, the aggressor heel, as I know Ethan Page can be. So if Sean is going to let anybody get away with some of that, Ethan Page should be the guy because he sounds more believable than anybody else on the roster as far as using, language and anything else like that.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Um, then we will get to the Miz TV promo. And granted, this is the first time we've seen the Miz since his also portrayal of the sweet and lovable R-Truth.
That heel turn was whack. That heel
that
turn was whack. By the way, before we get into that, hold on. That heel turn was whack. That was the bootiest heel turn I ever. Miz looked like he didn't even want to do it. He looked like he didn't even want to do it.
probably didn't. But then
That was
again,
corny.
the signs were there that he was going to turn heel on R-Truth.
No, I know he was going to turn. It's just the way that it happened it was just, yay, cool.
Yeah, it
But
was
if
like
we're going to get, but if
it
we're
was
going to
just
get
like
if we're going to get a,
go ahead.
but now if we're going to get a more serious R-Truth, I'm fine with that. If the Miz is going to make R-Truth more serious than the playful R-Truth, like when they was a tag team, when they was heels before, then I'm with that.
no, you right, Xavier, about that. The Miz is at his best. He does do some of his best work when he's a heel. But if you
Yeah, when he is a
notice,
heel.
every time they turn him face, he doesn't stay face for long. He stays face for like a couple of months. Then they turn him right back heel. I think this was the quickest he ever turned. Well, technically not the quickest because I forgot I think he turned heel way before WrestleMania. I mean, he
I
turned
need,
face way before WrestleMania. I think going.
yeah,
I think that was like at the tail end of last year when he turned face. But
I need Miz. I need Miz to cut that. I need Miz to cut a promo like he did on Enzo Amore on R-Truth. And I need
oh yeah,
Miz to really dig in R-Truth.
that was a good promo on Enzo. And
I need that.
it was only good because it was true. It was true because
Yeah.
Enzo was messing up. Like he was messing up. Like nobody liked him backstage.
But that's another topic though.
I liked also true when they were jumping on people backstage.
When they was heels. When they was heels, remember the Hell in a Cell? When they came
Yeah,
in and they was beating up Eric? Yeah, I need
and
if
there was
that's what I'm
supposed to be
saying.
fire too. I
Yeah.
think there was
That's what I'm
fire.
saying. If
Yeah, they was like fire. I think that was like that gimmick was that they was fired and then they snuck into the building and disrupted the match. Who was that match? Was that John
I don't
Cena?
remember the night. That was John Cena and them, yep.
I'm gonna say I kind of sort of think that was John Cena and somebody else having a
Somebody else.
they was having a Hell in a Cell match and they just broke in there and beat them down. And it was like the match just ended in a no contest and they just got arrested.
That's when we got them versus The Rock and John Cena at Survivor Series.
Oh, okay. All right. And R-Truth should have one at Capital Combat. What?
Capital Punishment.
Yeah. Oh,
Exactly.
okay. Was that when he went up against John Cena for the title?
Yup. That was the
Okay.
corniest pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was the corniest pay per view, but yeah, he definitely should have won because they was pushing him, and he was like a serious heel, and they was pushing him, but then he just ended up losing, and he was doing some of his best work when that with that heel turn.
Bruh, that little Jimmy gimmick as a heel got him 10 times over.
Mm-hmm. He was like, he looking so crazy and sitting there talking to himself. But
Yeah, Capital Punishment. Yeah.
I do agree with you. He needs to be. This is where they need to make what you would call it R-Truth a serious baby face now because
Serious babyface.
as
Yeah.
much as I
It's
do love
time.
the cold comedy thing with R-Truth, I do want to see him as a serious character instead of a gimmick character.
And I think that's why they turned to Miz Hill. Because the Miz, I tell you one thing: the Miz is at his best when he's a heel, and the Miz can get under your skin when he's a heel. So I think it'll work.
Yes, it would. Yes, it will. Um, let's see. So, like I was saying, we got to this Miz TV promo where he was interviewing Oba Femi and Tony D'Angelo, and I love Oba Femi's music, the ruler. Dun, dun,
No,
dun.
it's just
Right, my dude be just coming out bobbing and stuff like he be vibing to his own music. But this is statement from the last. This comes off the heels of the last time he defended the North American Championship against Tony D'Angelo, which obviously Obafemi won. But the story here is that he broke Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo was afraid of Obafemi, and leading up to this, Tony D'Angelo had to get his courage back and remind himself of who he is, and that's how we got here. And Miz did play into his heel turn because the crowd was booing him, and then uh he took that. He said, "I take that sign that you is ready for the must see talk show Miz TV." He would bring out Open Femi and them, and he would ask Tony D'Angelo what makes him think that he was basically, ready to face him this time, even after he admitted that he was scared. But he admitted that he was scared, but he's going to use that as motivation and fuel to launch himself and beat Obafemi and become the new North American champion. Obafemi will return by saying that he will not defeat him because he's still a broken man and he's still afraid, and that he proved that he's one of those people who talk the talk but don't really believe what they're talking and saying, and that he's broken. But then Tony D'Angelo said, "You act like you know who I am. I grew up 20 minutes down the street from here, and that this is his family. Everybody's here." But he told everybody's here, everybody's on my side with me. But Obafemi reminding him that they can't help him fight, and that it's just going to be them one on one, and the end result's going to be saying he won't beat him and become the North American champion. To which they stared each other down. I like the promo. I really do. Because I already like Obafemi. Obafemi is a dangerous man. Obafemi is a dangerous man. I can't wait to see him on the main roster. Um, but I also like Tony D'Angelo too. I like the little Italian Don gimmick that they got going on there. Yeah, I like it. And I like this promo. It really got me hyped for that match. I think it's happening next week when they go to St. Louis. Oh God, I may have to skip that NXT. But Shane, what did you think of this Miz TV promo?
uh, it was fun. Tony, I like the story that they're telling with Tony D'Angelo. I don't think, my opinion.
She didn't could
Hold on.
have R-Truth and Russo over. It would have her. It wouldn't have her him and all. Yeah, he definitely could have. Definitely could have.
Yeah, I
But
don't
and then
mind.
again, was that his call or Vince's call?
I don't mind. I don't want Tony D'Angelo to win. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. People might jump at me later. I don't want him to win. I want actually Opafemi to win, and I want him to just be like, "Yo, I'm bored with the title," and just vacate it. Like I'm gonna go after something else because I'm gonna beat it at everybody, and I just want to vacate it. That could be the most disrespectful way. I'm talking about after he wins the match, not like next week. I'm talking about immediately after he wins the match, vacate the title. Like, you couldn't beat me, and this is what happens next. And then just walks. Like, damn, that's disrespectful. I really want Femi to. to just do that and be like, yo, I've dominated everybody. Who else is there for me to beat? I want to go after the NXT championship or call me up to the main roster. Simple.
I think I was about to say, I think he might be the next Keith Lee and probably end up winning the NXT championship, and then that's how they vacated. Because remember when Keith Lee was a double champion, they made him
Oh
vacate
yeah.
the North American title. So I can see Alba Femi stepping into being the next person to win to be double champion, and then he just have to vacate the North American.
Nah, he need to vacate that joint after he beats Tony D'Angelo. Because then it still keep the story going of, can Tony D'Angelo really beat this man? He couldn't beat him for the title. And then we could have this broken down Tony D'Angelo for a while. And then when we do run this back, it's just not for the title no more. You know what I mean? It's just now, can I really beat this guy? At some point, I need to beat him. You know what I mean? And now it could become more personal than just the championship.
It says Stone Cold did it to the Intercontinental Championship. So Stone Cold was undefeated and he just vacated it?
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot about that. Well, yeah, it was a nice promo. Then we would get this what I alluded to earlier, a backstage promo where Cora Jade was interviewed about why she did what she did, and as she went into explaining it, she would get cut off by Roxanne Perez, and Roxanne was like, "Yeah, why did you help me? Because I thought we're not friends anymore. I thought you didn't like me." And she said, "You know what? I actually do like who you are now. I didn't like who you were then, but I do like who you are now. So, and you know what? You're still NXT champion." She was like, "Yeah, maybe this could go a long way in rebuilding our friendship." So it looks like Cora Jade and Roxanne are getting back together again. But if I remember correctly, it was Cora Jade who turned heel. That's why she's a heel. She turned heel and beat up Roxanne, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yo, did you notice the hair color? Or I was just blonde?
With that platinum like purple in her hair?
Yeah. You notice both of them had the same hair color style?
No, I did not know. I didn't pick up on that. Roxanne had that in her hair too.
Yeah. They had the purple with the yeah, same style, same color. Yeah, yeah. Sean, just give it to us. You ain't even gotta play with the story. Just give it to us. They had the
Well,
same hair color style.
I did not pick up on that at all.
Sean,
He gave it to
just
The
give it to
Rock
us.
and said he had bigger fish to fry. Oh, okay. All right. That, I gotta look that up. I don't remember that storyline, but maybe it was one of the times I didn't get to watch Monday Night Raw, or was it on SmackDown? Either or, I have to look that up. But someone did give it to us in this next match, and by that I mean the cheeks. He gave us the cheeks. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean the cheeks. My God, Sean, you got the cheeks down there, my brother.
Woo,
Woo!
woo, woo.
Woo! Hopefully, my girlfriend's not watching this because I'm in the doghouse. But the cheeks were on display in this next match, which is the third match of the night, which is Jada Parker and Lola Vias versus Fatal Influence. And my God, Sean, Chef Kiss, man, Chef Kiss. Tell you the best women's division is in NXT for multiple reasons. Woo-hoo. I can't
Yo,
get over.
yeah.
That was like my main focus, especially I was loving Jada Parker's outfit. I'm just like, my God, please woman.
Jada Parker, she got She got the yams.
I bet you know
She
what?
got
I ain't
the
gonna lie.
yams.
The moves that she did when she stacked them in the ropes, and then she just basically just jumps and sits on them. I'll take that.
Mhm.
I'll take that. But
Yeah.
you're not getting back up. I'm gonna hold you back. I'm gonna hold you down though. But you're not getting back up. When I fall and hit the ground, you're gonna be like, man, you gonna let go? Like, no, not at all.
No.
No,
No.
you're gonna have to get security to get you off of me. Like I'm not letting go. That's some nice
Yeah,
hips on that.
Jada Parker, she got the oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Jada, I swear. I'm like, but at the same time, her outfit was distracting too. At that, she kept in her match. She kept having trying to pull her top up because I guess in the middle doing her moves, she kept feeling the slip. So I'm like, come on, Jay. Like you should have knew better than wear that type of top that you're gonna have to keep adjusting yourself. You kind of taking yourself out of the match. But overall, now that
Hmm.
we got done being getting all the cheeks out the way, it was a decent match. It was a decent match. Um, I was the wrestlers. I was very into it. I like the little dynamic how even though it's a played out dynamic, it still I still enjoyed it here between Lola and Jada. They're not really liking each other and who going to turn on who first because they both got these cocky alpha like attitude towards each other. But for the
Hmm.
most part, they worked well against Fatal Influence and even had them on the ropes. But Fatal Influence will play up on their little beef between each other, or not beef, but they just because I think Jada's beef is with Fatal Influence and Lola's beef is with Fatal Influence, but they just don't like each other. So they kept having like Lola bump into Jada, and it happened twice. And after that second time, she would leave the ring and be like, you know what, no, because this is twice now. So she just left and left Lola there. Lola held her own though. Looked like she was gonna make a comeback. I thought maybe Jada would come back. That Jada would go come back, but she didn't. And Lola though held her own, and she tried. Fatal Influence would get the better of her and hit their finisher. Thus, Fatal Influence got the victory. But they will call out I can't remember her first name. Kalani, yeah, Kalani James. They will call. She was at ringside. They would call her into the ring, ducking. I guess they were saying she was ducking and dodging them, and they want to. They both want to fight her for that women's North American Championship, and that they told her they had her outnumbered. But she said she did have a plan B. Her plan B wasn't for the match, but it was for her not to be outnumbered. And she said she didn't come to NXT alone. And they was wondering what she was talking about. Here comes Jay Cargill's music. Here comes Bianca Belair's music. They down there, they gave her some backup. They fought Fatal Influence off to stand tall to end this whole match segment. So I'm like, okay. I wonder how if they gonna this was just a one off or they're gonna keep coming back down to help Kalani James. I do wonder if that's gonna be like a thing. But Shane, what did you think of that match?
Oh, um, damn. I was Jada Parker is just she distracted me the whole match. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, her and Lola
Woo.
distracted the hell out of me. Like I kind of forgot we
Um,
was having a match, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we having a
no,
match."
for real. Um, no, the match was decent. Um, Jada and Lola, I'm liking how they telling the story. Eventually, they're gonna have to work together to beat this. Um, I like to call them Mandy Rose rejects. Yeah, mad. Um,
Well,
but
that's only part of. I think that one girl is the only Mandy Rose reach. That was part of. What was that? What was they
man, they trying to
called?
create a whole nother darn. Nah, it wasn't
Toxic
it ain't the
Attraction.
same, yo.
Was it Toxic
Yeah,
Attraction?
toxic attraction. It ain't the same.
Speaking of which,
It ain't the
where's
same.
my girl Gigi? Because she also had the case, man. I need my Gigi
Yeah,
going. I need my
it,
Gigi going fix.
it ain't the same. It ain't the same. But No, the match was decent. And this is what we was talking about earlier. No, I think last week when we was talking about mid card titles for the females, it
Mm-hmm.
sets up future robberies. It sets up future storylines, and now they got something to chase. Main roster, just saying. Um, so uh, them Jade and them made the save for her name is James to me. I could tell Shawn Michaels really likes her that much. Um, and I mean, if we're gonna get a feud with the North American champion of her and the one of the three girls, that's perfectly fine. I'm with that. Again, like I said, all the storylines it sets up feuds. It sets up feuds for a North American championship. It sets up feud for even Roxanne Perez and her championship. You see how that works? Main roster. Just
Mm.
saying.
What he's getting at
So
is that everybody has a goal to work towards. It's not just random matches
yeah,
that don't go nowhere.
and and it's building story, even if it's not for the title, but it is like Lola and Jada. If they fight, it's gonna be I'm the baddest. You know what? Around. You know what I mean? Because that's really what they both their attitudes is about. Like, nah, I'm the baddest. No, I'm the bad. You know what I'm saying? So it builds stories and it builds feuds. So that way, when we do get to these championships, we already know. All right, Jada, you up for this, and you up for that. You know what I mean? Like, shout outs to Sean, man. Sean. Sean women's division is chef kiss.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, I was saying, I'm like, yep. You know what? NXT is the better when it comes to the women's division. It's better all division at between the main roster, both men and women's. But it is especially with the women. That is the better division is NXT. Um, then I don't think we got any more backstage promos, so we just get straight to the main
Toxic
event,
Trinity.
huh? Uh,
No, I was reading a comment. Yes, yes. A plus 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 plus.
yes, it was toxic attraction, and though Mandy Rose went off the deep end and got herself fired, but I did see a video. Though. I think she working her way back up into being a wrestling again. So she is getting back into the
She
biz.
didn't get fired because of that. She got fired because she was making more money outside of WWE and they wasn't part of it. That's what that was.
Yeah,
That's
there's
what that
always two
was.
sides to a story. But that I mean,
She was
technically,
making
that's what she said she got fired for. But a lot of people do
yeah.
believe it was something different. She said she got fired because of her little OnlyFans thing, but she said she complied with them and took it down, but they already fired her before I guess after she already did it, or it got
Because
too
she was
far.
making more money from it. Yeah, yeah. And then, WWE is more like a PG era, so seeing her do do that, and then yeah,
And
I
she
I
was
could
taking
understand
it
from both
far
sides.
too. She was taking it far, like to the point where I was like, "Yeah, you go." I'm like, I can't believe she. I was saying it. I can't believe she hasn't not been fired yet
Mhm.
because she took it far, and I would know because I seen the pictures and everything. Yeah, she was taking it
She
far.
was getting that
She was
bag
taking.
though. I ain't gonna.
She was getting that. She did. I remember that radio interview she did. She said a dude gave her like 50 G's, no, 50 grand, or it was like 50 or 55 grand, something like that, for
Mhm.
something to do something on her OnlyFans. I'm like, wow. And her husband was right there. All he said was what? He was like, thank you, dude. Because they couldn't believe somebody just got 50 G's like that just to blow. Like, what type of rich dude was that got 50 G's to blow like
No,
that?
for real.
Like on especially on like it was like it's one thing to blow 50 G's, but you blew 50 G's on the OnlyFans model. I'm like
Yeah, you
that's
walla.
you
I said,
wilding for that, but you
yeah,
also flexing too because you saw that I got that money to do that.
yeah, facts.
I'm like, you know what it was? It was one of them guys in Dubai, and them guys in Dubai be having the money, and I'm like, that has to be where it was. It was a Dubai dude, and he was just like, let me throw her 50 G's real quick, see get her to do a little something strange for a piece of change.
Change.
But like I said, we'll get to the main event. And I mean, man, this is the type of environment I love to see Trick Williams in. Because that crowd, that Chicago crowd went crazy for Trick Williams.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, my God. That's why I said, if he show up in that Royal Rumble, woo, that crowd gonna go off if he show up in that Royal Rumble, man. I'm telling you. But this was the for the NXT championship, and as well with Roxanne Perez, her and Ethan Page came in with the old titles. They gave their old titles away and competed for the new versions. And this was a good match between the two. You gotta remember this match was in the making because Trick Will technically didn't lose, and Ethan Page technically didn't win. He just like basically got hit and fell into the pen and won the title. Though he did successfully defend the title a couple times, he did luck into that title, and this match proved that. When I tell you who won the match, but Ethan Page definitely is a superstar, though. He definitely is a good wrestler, and I enjoyed the match between the two. I enjoyed the chemistry. I enjoyed the work ethic between the two, the in-ring work. I like that they both went at CM Punk at that beginning too. Like they was like they got mad at CM Punk for like the same thing. Like, no, come on, man, 1, 2, 3. Like he was like, I'm doing my
hmm
job. But Ethan Page, he did beat Ethan Page. He tried to pull out some tricks. He tried to cheat, and I even like the callback to how Ethan Page won the title when he got hit with the trick knee, and Trick Williams just fell to the ground afterwards, and Ethan Page just slumped on top of him and almost pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. But this time there was a kick out, and but I did like it. I did like the match. It was good. Trick Williams. I did like that Ethan Page was trying to taunt CM Punk by hitting Trick Williams with the go to sleep. I like that spot too. Um, but in the end, Trick Williams would get the best of Ethan Page. I think he hit with another trick knee. I think that's how and he pinned the 1, 2, 3, and Trick Williams is your new NXT champion. And that celebration, that crowd went fire for that too. That the Chicago crowd is always a good crowd. So shout out to them. They always a good crowd. No matter what's on the card, they make the card feel that much better. Because this all intents and purposes, this wasn't a stellar card, but the Chicago crowd made it stellar. This
hmm
was like an okay card, but it was enhanced by the Chicago crowd. But yeah, that was the match was good. I enjoyed it. But Shane, what did you think about the main event?
Uh, the the match was cool. The ending was a little awkward for me. Um, when I think Ethan Page is about to go for the Rage's Edge. Trick Williams slid out and he kind of grabbed on the Punk, and Punk just threw him into the
Oh yeah, I
corner.
forgot about that part. He like
I
yeah,
don't think that's
he grabbed, he fell into Punk, and Punk just like put him into the ropes.
yeah. I don't think that spot was meant to happen. Overall though, it was a good main event. Trick Williams winning was the right call. Um, Ethan Page is definitely he's definitely a star. Damn it, AEW, y'all done. However, uh, yeah, man, it was a decent match, and Trick Williams getting the win was definitely it was a must. I hope his run with the second run will be better than the first one. Um, yeah, that crowd was lit. That crowd was just on fire. I mean, phew.
Yeah, throughout the whole night, every segment they came alive for. There was not one thing that did not come alive for.
Yeah, but that crowd was fire.
Yes, yeah, they was fire. Chicago is Chicago. It's always those crowds you know is gonna show up. Chicago, Canada, pretty much whenever they go overseas, they always show up. And then you got your
Yeah,
regular crowd that just be like, yeah. and
yep, yep. Yeah.
they don't really care to come alive and nothing like that. You part of the fun too.
No, I think the Raw crowd Monday Night Raw was pretty lit.
Yeah, the Monday Night Raw crowd was lit too. Dude, style AEW will have what a star is if it fell on no what a star was if it fell from the sky. Yeah, I mean, whew,
I'm
AEW.
just saying from I'm just saying like Ethan Page is he's definitely good, and like he's one of those guys like I said earlier that you can give a microphone to, and he can really go, and he can go in the ring as well. So you know what I mean. That's why I say AEW screwed up with that, because Ethan Page could have definitely been a great asset, but he's a great asset in NXT.
Yeah, yeah.
As long as I get the tag team of him and Josh Alexander, please, Shawn Michaels, let that happen. I just need that for the one time, and I'm okay. I'm perfectly fine after that. I just need them to be a tag team one more time, just one more time.
Just one more time. But
Yeah,
depending
yeah,
on how
yeah.
Shawn Michaels booking, we might get it. We might get it.
I'm with that for the one time. I'm with that.
They have too many people that are good like Page. That's the problem. That and I
You
just don't
talking
think
about
AEW.
AEW?
I think I guess he's talking about AEW, but yeah, like I think AEW is that, and they just don't know how to book their talents correctly. Now, don't get me wrong, WWE has that same problem too. But it's a spec. WWE should be better. They shouldn't be having the same problem as someone like AEW. They should be better with their booking, but they booking still needs work. It's not Shawn Michaels booking, but the main roster booking that needs some tremendous work.
Yeah. I, you know what it is? To be honest, I watch AEW from the beginning. I watched it from when it started to now. Matter of fact, I'm about to go watch it because Dynamite's on. I watched it from the beginning to now. Uh, AEW, yes, it does have a lot of talent. I heard that the new deal just got finalized. Thank God. The HBO, I mean, they pay-per-views I heard is gonna start streaming on Max. Thank the
Oh
Lord.
yeah, yeah, I did see that. I see that.
Um, I think I think it's a good thing for AEW all around. Um, if they could split that roster and make Collision one show and Dynamite one show and whatever, and if they can get the booking together, WWE is going to be is WWE will have to step up in a way to where wrestling is going to be fun again. I just think overall, if AEW does well, WWE is going to do great, and I think if WWE does great, everybody else is going to do well. So
So have I. That's why I'm so hard on them. They started great, but became WWE 2.0. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, I believe you can overcome that because you got stars over there like Swerve, MJF, Christian Cage, Adam Copeland, um, Brian Danielson, John Moxley, uh, Okada, Jay White. I mean, I can go on. However, I just think AEW don't have that star power star yet, and that's what I was talking about with the world championship. Like you're not surrounding the world title. That's why I said with AEW's world title runs is different. It's a gift and a curse because it's different. Anytime somebody wins the title, you get new feuds. However, you're not building those stars because you're not seeing the same competitors at the world championship. Now with
Mhm.
WWE, it's kind of the same problem, but in the Misfits, they created stars along that way. People like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Uh, I mean, I can go on. John Cena, The Rock. Y'all know
Yeah.
the rest. But people like Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, uh, people like Cody Rhodes, they became like superstars, and I think that's what AEW is missing. They missing that they trying to sign these rejects, and it's like, all right, well, who can we make the draw? And some of the people I just named,
They have MJF. He is that star power they need. He's homegrown. The fantasy book is killing that company. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like people like MJF, Swerve Strickland, uh, whether people hate him or like him, Swerve AEW one is what is way better than his WWE one.
oh, for
Um,
sure, for sure.
people like Brian Danielson, you got stars that that can draw. However, and that comes to your point, the fantasy booking is too much of it. Like sometimes we don't need fantasy matches. Like, I mean, it's cool tonight. We're going to see Okada versus Brian Danielson, but for what cost when that could have been built to a pay per view? You know what I mean? Because that's a dream match. At what cost? Why would you put it on a regular show? I just think that AEW is starting to become like WCW when it comes to their main event. Because WCW is running a main event on the TV show just to beat the company, realizing that they hurting the pay per view,
Hmm.
and that that is a big problem. If you know if AEW is going to continue to go down that road, however, it can be a fix. So I'm not saying it's all bad over there because it's not. It's still watchable, and it's to me it's entertaining, it's enjoyable because I'm gonna be real. I enjoy AEW's pay per views more than WWE's pay per views this year. I did. I really did. So I mean, I think
But what I
AEW does great pay per
WrestleMania, I
views.
think WrestleMania is the only pay per view you said was good so far. All the
Yeah,
all the,
you
all
know,
the pay per views that we've seen so far this year, I only hear you say only heard you say WrestleMania was the best pay per view that they ran. Because when you compare them to AEW.
yeah, right, yeah. WrestleMania it was a storytelling PLE. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed WWE's PLE. I think WWE's PLE is more of a story content. I think AEW's pay per views is more of we're gonna throw we're gonna throw everybody on the car and we're gonna give them a wrestling pay per view. So, I mean, if you know what I mean, it all comes down to what you like as a fan. I mean,
Mhm.
I like all wrestling. I don't care about none of that. I just watched MLW's. uh with Zilla Fatu in the main event. So you know what I mean? It all comes down to what you like. But
Because speaking
for
of which,
AEW, it can be a face.
is it Zilla or Hukaleo? They said they got signed to WWE. Currently, they just waiting on.
Hukaleo.
Okay, yeah, yeah. They say he gonna be debuting for NXT.
As he should. See, yo, Sean, Sean the man. Sean cooking.
Sure is that man. Also, but they almost destroyed him in that Christian feud. That was a terrible build of booking.
You absolutely, yo, you know what? You absolutely right. And this is why I say you need veterans. You need veterans. Even though the damn title match was rushed because it was literally 2 weeks. I don't know how you could build a world title match in 2 weeks. I'm just saying. However, if it wasn't for Christian Cage making it personal to where I wanted to see it, I probably would have skipped it. So that's why you need veterans for stuff like that. Especially if stuff is on the fly. WWE does it a lot too, where if stuff needs to be on the fly, you need your best asset to step forward and make this happen in such a short notice. And that's what Christian Cage did. He made it happen at a short notice.
Yeah, yeah, he did. He did. But that is all. That was NXT in a nutshell.
Oh
Um,
yeah, My bad. My bad. We was
yeah,
sorry about that. My bad.
no, yeah, you cool. That's what it is. This is a wrestling. This is the Wrestling Pit podcast where we talk everything wrestling. Even though technically the main thing was the NXT, still.
I will be doing AEW content starting next week. So if y'all want to jump on and come on over and all that, I will be doing some AEW content starting next week. I'm gonna get back to it because I know on my TikTok channel a lot of people have been asking me about it as well.
Okay, all right. But before we get up out of here, Shane, what did you overall? What would you give NXT? What would be your score?
I give it a 7.5. It was a good show. It was a good show. Sean getting to the point. It didn't drag. None of the promos was dumb long. That's what I was talking about with SmackDown. If we do go to 3 hours, just saying. Um,
If
yeah,
you
none of the
notice on
promos
Monday Night
was
Raw, that's what how Monday Night Raw was. None of their promos was long on Monday Night Raw.
it as it shouldn't. Like if you're not in a big time storyline to where you have to cut the promo, that like you know what I mean, to where you have to tell the story, you don't need to be cutting promos for no more than 5 or 10, like 5 minutes. You don't need it. You know what I mean? Like you really don't. Like you need to if you're gonna cut a promo, get to the point of the promo. All right, we cool. Unless you, like I said, unless you win a big time storyline like Roman Reigns, Cody, and all of them, to
Yeah.
where the promo has to sell the story. And yeah, by any means, not like The Rock taking a whole hour. We don't
Yeah.
need that kind of promo either.
Yeah, because what they on a 2 hour SmackDown, he took 45 minutes of the show. They had to rush everything. Ah,
Yeah, he took like a whole hour of the show, dude. We don't need. I don't do TikTok. No, I'm gonna be on here. I'm gonna be on the tube. I'm just gonna be doing more AEW content on the tube because people been asking me on like my Facebook and all of that what happened. So I'm gonna get back to it. Um, Matter of fact, I'm about to watch Dynamite right now. But before I go, no, I give it a 7.5. It was a good show. Segment wasn't long. Matches was decent. Sean did everything right in this, and we already building towards next week. See what I mean? That's what you need. uh, the young OG going against Randy Orton. I think that's gonna be a good one.
Oh yeah, that's gonna
Um,
be a good one next week. Next week, yep. Yep.
tag title match is gonna be a good one. Yeah, you know what I mean. I Sean NXT is looking bright. Sean NXT is when you the boss, you can nah. I don't even care if he is the boss. Nah, we don't need an hour of that. However,
You
but
you messed it up, say there. It's the final boss. When
yeah,
you the
final
final
boss. We still didn't need an hour of the goddamn show. No. However, um, Sean is letting everybody know that this is his NXT,
Mm.
and this is going to be Sean's show from here on out. And that silver and black, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I like the colors. I like it. It's letting people know, yo, this is my show. I like the belts. I'm cool with it. I ain't complaining about the belts. Thank God it ain't them colorful fruity pebble belts that Vince McMahon had.
Yeah, that was
Um,
weird.
and thank God this NXT ain't bright like the first one. Oh my God, that was terrible. But
Nah,
shout outs to Toxic Attraction though, because in that era they were the must see group. I gotta see that. But overall, yeah, Sean, keep doing your thing, man. That was an amazing show. CW definitely is gonna have a bright future because some numbers was lit.
mm.
Some numbers was lit. I think
Yeah,
that's the most CW ever had views on a network. So
I think
yeah,
so
man,
too.
Sean, yeah, I give it a 7.5. It was a stellar show. And the crowd just made it even feel more important. So
Yeah, you know what? And I echo your sentiments too. That's exactly how I feel. And I gave it also a 7.5. I'm like, that was a 7.5. So it was better. I was going to give it a 7, but I'm like, you know what? No, it was better than just a solid 7. That's why I said, you know what? It was a 7.5 because I feel like the segment with the two belts, it was good. I enjoyed it. So Michael got straight to the point. That whole promo was short and sweet. They didn't take too much time. They unveiled the belts, let you know what was in store. We did get some, I guess, a surprise in Jade and Bianca being on the show. We did get some great matches. We got an announcement of a new already a Delta coming to NXT, and they
yes.
said she's a freaking powerhouse. Um,
I
so,
like I like I like how they did the whole. I like how they did her thing when she was walking and it said like on the left it had 10 and then on the right it had 27. I was like, oh, that was slick. That was
yeah,
smooth.
yeah, and then it said her next exit NXT.
I'm
But
with
yeah,
that. I can't
so,
wait.
solid good show, solid good premiere. I like the new color of the silver and black. I like the new intro song for them. Pretty good. Uh, you know what? Yeah, solid point 7.5. It was a 7.5. So
Oh
that's
yeah, and hold on, let me touch on one more thing real quick before I get out of here. Anybody that's complaining about hip hop being part of an entry or whatever the case may be, y'all need to stop. For God's sake, like y'all need to stop. We knew it was rock and roll and all that, but y'all need to stop. Y'all fans are fickle. Y'all need to stop.
oh for sure, yeah. Cause y'all do know, and I mean this, y'all do know that Dudley had a number one hit album, and that was an album where they collaborated with rappers. It was a mixture. Wrestling was a mixture of rap and rock. And so rap and wrestling is not a misplaced thing. They go hand in hand. They got some of their most successfulness with rap. Hence why they going to people like Lil Wayne, Two Chains, Megan Thee Stallion. They doing that for a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason it's a method to the madness. But yeah, we're gonna get out here and let Shane go so he can watch AEW. But before we go, you know what to do. Subscribe to the Rest of the Pit podcast. Hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. Do all that because once we get to a certain point, there might be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for one lucky subscriber. Gotta get it, but we gotta get to it that 500 count first. Though. Gotta get to that 500 count first. Xavier said what? Yeah, different generation of fans. That's why rap works. Yeah, yeah. But once you do that, once you subscribe to the Recipe Podcast, get over to my channel. Hold on, let me take the banner off real quick so you can see how to spell my name. As you can see, a little bit, man, game is spelled just like that. Go there and hit the like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. Do that for me. Get over to Chris' channel, Chris Wrestling Views. Subscribe to his channel. That man's almost to the first YouTube plaque. So let's get him there as well. The subscribe button so he could get that first YouTube plaque. And get over to Shay's channel. Know the rules. She couldn't join us tonight, but in spirit, get over to her channel. Know the rules.
Shout out to the team. Shout out to the team.
Shouts out to the whole Rest of the Pit crew of Jeff, especially to Shane and Jeff. As always said, send them your prayers and thoughts.
Appreciate it.
But these two guys, definitely these two guys deserve everything right now. So, but also shouts out to Hector, Chris, Shay, everybody kicking it with Leo. Shouts out to everybody. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. So, as we always do when we sign off, Wrestling Pit Podcast, baby.
Peace and love, y'all.
Yes.